Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is the Sturmpanzer II. It's the Tier 4 German SPG. It's located on the south spawn of Lakeville, and this one is under the command of Appa561 of OLIMP. Now, he's armed with a 15cm howitzer, and it's capable of doing 350 alpha, 35mm of pin, 6.2 meters on the burst radius, and between 4 and 6.5 seconds of stun. It's basically a 15cm howitzer mounted on top of a Panzer II. Now, they started manufacturing these in 1940, in fact early 1940, February 1940, before the invasion of France. And I guess they already knew at that point that the Panzer II wasn't really going to be a strong contender against other enemy tanks. In fact, a lot of them just weren't capable of dealing with some of the French tanks that were actually on offer because they had much more armor. Anyway, he's lining a shot up there on an M5A1 Stuart right at the back. Very odd place for a light tank to be, but let's see how he gets on. Oh my god, that was a direct hit right on top of him for 352 hit points. Next target's a Marder 38 or 38 CT, made from the Panzer 38. Oh, and that's another kill. So, well, that's his first kill, actually. He's going after the M5A1 Stuart again. You can see where the last shell landed, right on top of the turret roof. Rounds out. Yep, hit the engine deck this time, and that guy's gone as well. So 2 kills now for Appa561. Now, they manufactured 38 of the Sturmpanzer II, but only 36 of them were actually sent to Tunisia and to Libya to fight for the Germans. They were used by the Afrika Korps. None of them survived the war. They were all wiped out completely. There was some discussion or possibility that they manufactured 2 of the Sturmpanzer II from the Panzer III hull. So it was actually a Panzer III hull, not or a Sturmpanzer III, you might say, or Dry. But in actual fact, as far as we can tell, there's only pictures of these vehicles which look like elongated Sturmpanzers. So they look slightly different. They've got a curved hull. But we can't be certain that they actually did manufacture these. Yes, there's pictures, but it could be an altered Sturmpanzer II. Well, you can see the enemy are flooding back to their own cap area because they're in trouble. And Appa, well, he's not having a lot of luck so far. He keeps lobbing the shells in, but the enemy keep moving out of the way before his shell arrives. Okay, he's lining this one up ahead. Oh my god, what a shot that one was! That anticipated that the tank was going to go into that spot. And yes, he did, and wiped it out. Okay, so who's next? You can see that the rest of our team are pushing towards the enemy cap, and Appa's decided to go in there as well. The enemy have got just 1 tank left in the town and a T6 medium up near the cap area. And he's trying to defend the cap, but the Type 95, which of course has got very thin armor, is in the town. He's facing 3 enemies and oh, he's gone. So only 1 tank remaining, an M6 medium, and he's facing off against the T29, and unfortunately our Samur went down. Now the Samur's a tier 3 and the T6 medium is not. He's tier 4 if I remember correctly. You can see Appa's trying to get there, and the T6 is coming around the corner towards our guy. He kills the T29, but Appa's moving on, and the T6 thinks he's got an easy target. No way! Lovely kill there by Appa561 to win the game. Here's the end of battle stats, and that was the 3rd class tanker for Appa561 of OLIMP in the Sturmpanzer II. he managed to get a fighter badge for getting at least 4 kills. He got 4 exactly in that game. He also got a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In fact, he got 7 in that game, and his win rate was 3,079, which is Super Unicum standard. Let's have a look at the team score. Well, we can see he didn't get the highest damage because that went to a Honey 2, who managed to get 1,051 hit points of damage. Second highest was the T6 medium on the enemy team, the one that Appa561 killed right at the end. He got 981, followed by the Panzer III, who managed to get 953. You can see that Appa561 only got 701, which means that he was beaten by 2 members of his own team, 2 members of the enemy team, I should say, and 3 members of his own team, which actually places him in 6th place overall on damage. When it came to kills, though, he shared the top spot with the Shure S35. He got wiped out by that T6 medium, but Appa561 didn't miss with a 15cm howitzer, and that badly damaged T6 medium, the moment he came across that shell, even if it landed near him, it was going to kill him. But in fact, Appa561 got a direct hit on the guy and then passed him right at the end of the game. So 4 kills went to Appa561 and the Shure, and 3 kills went to the T6 medium on the enemy team. And when it came to base XP, we can see the top scorer was the T29 with 743, followed by the Shure S35 with 602. And lastly, we've got an FCM 36 Pack 40, who managed to get 584, but only 2 kills and a little bit of damage. And we can see that Appa managed to get 401 base experience points out of that one. He fired 9 rounds, but he got 5 direct hits and 3 penetrations. The ones that missed were the ones he was trying to get at the enemy tanks that were at the other end of the corridor on the other side of the map. And the enemy tanks just didn't want to stay still. But the moment he lobbed one in the distance to a point where he thought the enemy tank was going, and he went there exactly, and he wiped him out completely and actually saved his teammate in the process. So he got 5 direct hits and 3 penetrating shots with 3 splash. Damage of 701, of which 675 were at more than 300 meters, the close shot being the T6 medium. 4 enemy vehicles were damaged, 4 were killed, and he got 1 stun in that game. Yes, this can produce stun. It's a 15cm howitzer, but it's obviously a low power 15cm howitzer, or rather I should say, it doesn't have as much stun as the other ones. Technically, it would have actually in reality, because it was a heavy howitzer, so it would have done a lot of damage to the enemy or to the British who it was being aimed at. He managed to get a profit of 8,383 credits from the game and 804 experience points out of this one as well. Yes, it was that last shot really. Shoot 4, boom 4, and yes, he did get some big hits in that one. The Marder Acton ICT, that tank destroyer really just couldn't take it. It landed on the gun shield, so obviously he went down. And of course that M5 Stuart landed 1 on the turret, which I don't know how it survived, but it did, even with a penetrating shot. But it was the second shot that hit the engine deck, and that was the one that wrecked it. Other than that, the shot on that T6 medium was exceptionally good, because he got it on the move, and this howitzer doesn't have much of an arc. In fact, it's only 13 degrees in total, 6.5 degrees either side of the center line. And even though he was on the move, he managed to get an accurate shot that ended the game of the enemy. Hope you enjoyed that replay. If you did, please give this video a like, and thank you for watching.